achieved largely by my partner David Gill, the late David Gill. We were working on the Hollywood series and we needed to do an episode on comedy. And comedy, of course, means Chaplin. The agent for Chaplin at the time said that if we wanted an extract from one of the features, we would have to pay £100,000 a minute. He was trying very hard to put people off, and I suspect he succeeded. Well, the unknown, Chaplin material that we needed, but couldn't possibly afford that price. It was ludicrous. So it looked as though we were going to have to use the very early period of Chaplin's career only, and that would not put over the subtlety that comedy in the silent days could achieve. So David Robinson, the biographer, suggested that we talk to Chaplin's business manager. Now, Chaplin was still alive. We contacted the business manager and we heard nothing. I remember him picking up a pen once, hurling it on the ground and saying, "We've got to have an answer from this woman." Her name was Rachel Ford. And so I went on, got on the telephone, rang her number, it was engaged. It turned out she was ringing me. And the reason that she wanted to get me to go down to the Chaplin vault, she said she had a snippet. "Sir Charles has authorised me to allow you a snippet for your programme." She was a very remarkable woman. She was in her 70s at the time. She'd been in the Free French Army during World War II with 2,000 nurses under her command. So she was very, very inhibiting isn't the right word, intimidating. So we were invited down to the Denham vaults where the Chaplin collection was held. We broke speed records getting down there, and there was this very neat woman in a white coat, and she said, "I think I know where the snippet is, but I can't find it. Do come into the vault." And I was very disappointed because I thought the vault was going to be like something out of Cat and the Canary with cobwebs and rusty cans and lots of things that nobody knew about. Well, in a sense it was true, but everything in there was beautifully clean and beautifully organised with the famous titles on pieces of paper sticking out of the cans. City Lights, Great Dictator. But down the bottom I saw How to Make Movies. I thought, what? What is How to Make Movies? She said, "Oh, it's a little film he made for fun. It's not very good." I said, "You mean Chaplin made films for fun?" Oh, she said, "Oh, he has lots of them." Could we see some? Well, she was kind-hearted and she allowed us to look, and what we saw nearly finished us off because it was the opening reel to City Lights that he had discarded in 1931, and it was a brilliant sequence. The greatest comedian with the smallest prop. It was Charlie getting annoyed by a stick stuck in a grill and trying to remove it with his stick. Well, you can't have that, I remember her saying after we'd seen. But she did give us enough snippets to sustain the Hollywood episode. And then afterwards, David and I said, well, what we've got to do is we've got to do a program about these amazing Chaplin scenes. So we decided that that was what we would do. We began talks with Lady Una Chaplin and trying to win her round. And David used to have, I don't really have ever heard of a film pirate called Raymond Rohar. But I said at the beginning of the Hollywood program, under no circumstances will we have anything to do with Rohar. And David said, you're completely wrong. He's got the material. I've just got to win him over. And he had dinner with him once every month, which was really brilliant of him, because Rohar was a utterly charmless individual. But he picked up his ears when he heard about this chaplain coup, and he said, "How many cans did you find?" And David said, "What do you mean, how many cans did I find?" He said, "Well, how many cans have they got?" I said, 30, 40. I've got more than that. You've got more than that of what? I've got more than that of unknown chaplain footage. So it took 18 months of solid negotiation to get it out of him. And he had to send a truck all the way around France, picking up the material where he had squirreled it away so nobody would find it. And in the end, we had 300,000 feet of footage that nobody had ever seen before of Chaplin making his films, and David recognized at once that we had to get it in numerical order, which we did, and it told us that Charlie made his films by shooting them. He wrote his script on film, and he just went on and on and on until something that wasn't funny was funny. And we made a documentary called Unknown Chaplain back in 1983, which I think is on DVD nowadays. But what I'm going to show you is going to end with the one little sequence which shows you one aspect of his working methods.